Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deborah and this is Fictional Latitude. I'm sorry for the delay in bringing you the next video, but I was in London and I came back. I've had dental surgery. Honestly, I had an egg inside of my face. So that wasn't really very good for filming. And now all is good. And I thought I would bring you my haul from London, which actually isn't as big as I had planned it to be. I think I got a little bit overwhelmed when I was there. I mean, it's been a year since I was back in London, and because I live in Spain, I don't have access to English language bookshops. Maybe I should read more in Spanish, but that's just laziness, isn't it? So I think I got there and I was just, even though I really wanted some books, if I didn't see them immediately, and you know, places like Waterstones Piccadilly are massive, I really couldn't be arsed. Which is bad, isn't it? But anyway, I did buy some books, and without further ado and more waffling, I shall go through them. So, the first book is A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft. She was the mother of Mary Shelley, and she died giving birth to her, or, you know, some short time thereafter. And this is basically a female manifesto. And when you consider it was written actually, when was it written exactly? 1792 it was first published. It really was setting the tables out for future women's rights movements. And it says on the front, it is time to effect a revolution in female manners, time to restore them to their lost dignity and make them as a part of the human species. So, I've never read this before, and so I'm going to give it a go. Well, I'm not going to give it a go, I'm going to read it. Honestly, I'm not stupid. So I'm going to read it and I'm going to find out how much this influenced Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, because it did. The question is how much. So I'll be interested to see how that works its way through. So that was the first one. The next one is a repurchase. Oh, dogs. Cristobal, basta. That'll last for about a nanosecond. Is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is, I've lost my original copy of The Great Gatsby, and I love this book. It's on my list of all-time favourites. So it's another Penguin edition. This was a Penguin one as well, actually. Right. So my bookcase is restored to life. Elif Shafak. I read 10 minutes and 38 seconds. That's not the whole title, is it? As part of my book club at work previously. What is it? 10 minutes 38 seconds in this strange world. That's the full name of the book that I read before. So when I saw, and I loved it, I loved the way she wrote, I really liked the plot. So when I saw The Island of Missing Trees, which has also was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2022, I thought, this is for me. So this will be my second one of Shafak's novels, and we shall see how that turns out. A Midnight Library has already been read, and I will give a summary of that in my March wrap-up, books I've read in March. So I shan't go into too much detail now, but it's one that I've had on my I'd like to read list for some time. Can't remember which bookshop I bought this in, actually. But anyway, I saw it and thought, yep, I'm having it. I've walked past it one time too many, so I grabbed it and I loved it. Let's just say that. What I'm going to leave until last. This was on my list of I'm going to buy this when I go to London, so I got one of them. I mean, really rubbish I was. The List of Suspicious Things, this, correct me if I'm wrong, is on the long list for the Women's Prize fiction, I believe. And it's had lots of good stuff written about it. Can't wait to read that one. And then I had an Oxfam Billy Bargain, which is Lucy Worsley's Agatha Christie. As I've mentioned before, I love Agatha Christie, and I have a whole bookcase dedicated to Agatha Christie, her works and biographies about her. So this had to be purchased. It's in almost perfect condition, but it wasn't until I threw it in my suitcase. It was 25 quid originally, and I snapped it up in Oxfam, High Street, Ken, for £5.99. That is a bargain of all bargains, I think. So very pleased to have that one. Now, I have saved till last the paperback written and illustrated, well, written by a friend, illustrated by his brother. And it's Waterstone's March Book of the Month for non-fiction. It's Brother Do You Love Me by Manni Coe Rueben Coe. The paperback was released on the 29th of March, and on 29th of February, and on the 1st of March this became Waterstone's Book of the Month. And I went to Waterstone's Piccadilly, and there it was, a whole window display to itself. Absolutely brilliant. I had the hardback copy, but that's gone wandering off, as these things do, so I snapped up the paperback copy. Manni is a tour guide. I work with him writing content for him. He's a tour guide here in Spain, and he splits his time between here and Dorset. His brother Ruben has Down syndrome, or as he likes to call it, Up syndrome, and he had, during lockdown, he basically had a breakdown. He'd retreated into himself, things weren't going well, and he sent Manni a text saying, "Brother, do you love me?" So that cry for help wasn't going to go unanswered, and Manni found his way over to Dorset, bro-napped Ruben, and this is about how he managed to bring Ruben back from the brink. And it is a very moving tale of brotherly love. And it was shortlisted for the Nibbies, the British Book Awards, in 2023 for the narrative non-fiction. But it is absolutely, it's so beautifully written, and it's heartfelt, and it's that love that siblings have for each other is so evident here. And it has Ruben's illustrations in it as well. He loves Narnia, so I don't know how clear that's going to be because I'm out in the sun and I can't actually see. Though there are always the lamppost, the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. So we have Ruben's illustrations throughout, his little notes, and obviously Manni talking about how he had to help his brother. So it's a definite read. And I know I'm biased because I know Manni, but you know, it's definitely. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the dogs kicking it off, cat walked past, this is definitely one to buy. So go get it, or order it from the library, or whatever. That's a brilliant read. Okay, so another book that made its way into my suitcase, but I actually didn't buy, is one in Italian. Ritrovero, Leonardo. Will we meet again, Leonardo? Rediscovering Leonardo? Blah, blah, blah. Could be lots of different things. I've got to come up with a nice snazzy title because this needs to be translated into English. Did I that side? I don't know. Needs to be translated into English. So my Italian, passable, okay. My partner, Italian. So between us, he's studied as a translator, so he's going to do the initial translation, I'll do the editing, And so this is an international mystery about 4 pieces of Leonardo's preparatory sketches, which get lost in a shipwreck in 1492, and then in 2022 2 former high school friends find themselves on opposite sides of the table when they go to buy a villa, an old villa on Lago Maggiore, and then there's a car accident, and what's it got to do with Leonardo? Ooh. Anyway, so we'll be translating that, so probably a year by the time that gets out. But if you can read Italian, maybe you'll want to have a look at it, by Alberto Pizzi. Okay, now some other things that I got in London, which are book related but aren't books. I got some really nice postcards in the British Library, which is probably the best bit about the British Library. Disappointing, let me just say. 16 postcards, which I'm going to frame and will then find themselves onto the new bookcases that I'm going to be putting up soon. And I've got Dracula, The Railway Children, Book of Nonsense, oh, I like Edward Lear, Just So Stories, Tales from Shakespeare, Hound of the Baskervilles, I have to keep turning them, I cannot see in the camera, Little Women and Good Wives, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, A Tale of Peter Rabbit, best ever book ever, Frankenstein, Robinson Crusoe, Oliver Twist, Pride and Prejudice, Treasure Island, Across the Zodiac, never heard of it, The Wizard of Oz. Anyway, so they're going to find themselves on my bookcases soon. So, with the dogs deciding to take over, and yes, have you finished, Freddie? Barking at everything. I'm going to call it a day for now, and I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did and you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you ever so much. See you soon. Bye.